Okay, so today we are going to walk through what it takes to put a winch on this 23 Honda Foreman. This will apply to basically all of the Hondas 2014 and newer, so the Ranchers, the Foremans, the Rubicons, basically everything other than Rincon. So what we've got, so we're going to put on a 4,500 pound rope winch today. So this is the winch mount I'm going to be using, so I'm a dealer for Moto Alliance products. Some of these winch mounts vary from brand to brand, but conceptually it'll be about the same. So these are our winch brackets here. First step we're going to do is we do need to pull off this front bumper. So we're going to pull those bolts there, and then down on the side there's that one right there, and then another one kind of right down there. So we'll also pull off this little skid plate bumper thing there too. So we'll yank that off, and then I'll start putting this winch bracket together. So I've got the bumper off here, and we're going to start with these brackets. So fortunately the directions on these are honestly not that great, and it's kind of confusing on these Ranchers. So this bracket here, this is actually going to go right there. We're going to bolt that in. The winch is actually going to mount up underneath. The cable for it will actually thread through here. And then this black plate is also going to bolt into there. And then this is where Fairlead goes. So I'll start piecing this together here and show how it goes. So I've got this just kind of finger tight right now. The winch is just sitting underneath here. I've threaded the cable up through this hole. Now this plate is going to slip over there. Also, rope through there. And now our winch mount bolts are going to catch those four as well as the winch, and that's what's going to hold those all together. So I'll suck those down, and now this winch will be in place. The winch is now tightened down in place. These bolts are secure as well as these. And then we will reuse some bolts there where that attaches to the frame. And I just need to throw my Fairlead back on, and then we'll put this bumper back in place. So the winch is now back in place. I've re-secured all of the fastening bolts to the front bumper. So next thing would be is to start some wiring. Regardless of what kind of or what brand of winch you have, the wiring is pretty much going to be identical. So you got your solenoid right here, your control switch, and then your main power cables. So these are everything's going to be color coded. Yellow and blue are going to go down to the winch itself. The red and the black are going to the battery terminals. And then on your winch switch here, basically we got two connector leads here. They're gonna match up there, and then one control wire voltage. So this is something that I usually wire into a power source that turns on and off with the key. So we'll start running some wires here and get this thing finished up. On these Hondas, the easiest thing to do is remove the seat, remove this little back cover right here. These just pop up, and then there's just one little quick tab back here, and then we'll have access to our battery, which is right down there, and then we'll also pull off this whole side cover. These things just lift off. Basically there's just a bunch of little push pin grommet locations and stuff all the way around, and then this whole thing will lift off so that we can have plenty of room and access to router cables. With this cover off, you can see we have plenty of access to route all of our wires. So what we're gonna do is right up here, I'm gonna drill 2 holes, and that's where I'm gonna mount my solenoid. And then I've got room to run the wires right up there. And then we'll run them along the frame and run them up to the winch as well as to the battery. So I've got the solenoid mounted and all of my power cables ran. So the red and black are going to the battery, and then the blue and the yellow are running up there, sneaking back across there, and then down to the winch down there. So all that's left is to install our little handlebar control switch and the power wire for that. This is the handlebar rocker switch. This is mounted. That just clamps onto the bar. And now we need to find a power source for that red wire. So on these, this is the accessory power plug that will come on and off with the key. There's 2 wires down there. And what I like to use is just a little splice connector like this that'll splice in line, and we'll add that to, in this case on the Hondas, the white and black are power, and we'll hook that up to our red, and then run these back to the winch solenoid, and then we'll be done. And we are all done. Let's just check and make sure everything works. Key on, out, in, perfect. Everything's working like it's supposed to. So yeah, that's it. Pretty simple.